Welcome, my friends, to another episode of Motivational Moments with Maria. I'm your host, crazy, energetic, loving, and high performance coach, Maria. I'm always grateful. I'm always honored that you are listening in. And today, we're going to have some fun and we're going to provide even more value today. And you know what I love to do? I love to keep on bringing messages of positivity and creating more energy for those that we love in our lives. And today is going to be really cool. I always believe we need someone cheering us on for every aspect of our lives. And if I can encourage just one of you to be better or do better, then I am one happy wisdom warrior. And today, as always, it's my intent to bring you something of value. And as I said, today is no exception. You're getting a bonus round today because I have invited one of the most energetic and loving coaches that I know. And I know that you're going to love her. You're also going to love her beautiful accent. She comes from Malta. And I'm going to go ahead and introduce her. So I'm thrilled to be joined by my friend and colleague, Carmen Payne. Now, Carmen is a personal and professional development coach, just like me. She runs SOAR Transformational Coaching. She did what I did. She had a big corporate job, very successful. And something was calling her in a different direction. And I know that many of you are being called to pursue something that speaks to you in a very, very different way. So I am going to talk to you a little bit about Carmen, because Carmen has a program and it's called Leading with Your Heart. Leading with your heart. And you know how that resonates with me. Now, we are all leaders, no matter what career or role that you have in life. There's one question that Carmen suggests that we all ask ourselves. So I'm going to bring Carmen on and I'm going to let Carmen ask that question. So welcome, Carmen, to the show. I'm thrilled that you're here. So Carmen, what is the first question that we should ask ourselves?
So one of the first questions, hi Maria, thank you so much, by the way, for having me on your podcast show. I love it. I listen to it regularly. But one of the first questions that I like leaders to ask themselves is, where are they leading from? Right? Where are they leading from?
Tell me a little bit more about that. Where are you leading from?
So, as you mentioned, thank you for that intro, by the way. As you mentioned in the introduction, I worked in corporate for over almost 25 years. I've been working since I was 10 years old for family businesses and things like that. Me
too.
Right. And so being the eldest in the family, that was another leadership kind of role, right? Because you're the eldest kid in the family, you're helping your parents do the chores in the house, raising the other kids and things like that, especially in the traditional, the kind of family that I grew up in. And so when I was in corporate, I really had to kind of sit with that, like, where am I leading from? Because there's fear-based leadership. There's all these different styles of leadership that's out there that are not necessarily nurturing and creating the right culture and environment for the team, right? Because the leadership is top down, right? What the top creates, the trickles down below, and that's what then permeates, right, within the culture of the organization. And what I noticed in my 25 years in corporate was I was working in a very toxic environment. It wasn't always, and that wasn't my entire career, because I've had very mixed different leaders. I've had some leaders that absolutely blew my mind and I learned so much from them. And then I've had other leaders that wanted to create this fear-based leadership, and everything was on fire, and everything's a threat, and if we don't get this done, this is going to happen. And so you're constantly in that mode of fight, flight, or freeze, right? You're constantly in that mode, which creates so much stress in the body. So one of the things I like to do when I work with other leaders, especially if they're managing a small organization, or even if they're managing a small team, is like, check in with yourself. Where are you leading from? What style of leadership are you putting out in the environment that's affecting and influencing the team around you? And so that's where that question came from, because I had an epiphany, Maria, when I was in corporate, that I'm like, I was running a huge project, and everybody above me, you know, the tier above me in corporate, were like running around like headless chickens, freaking out about losing this really high dollar client, customer. And then they give me this project and they're like, Carmen, we've got to get this done by this deadline. I don't know if anybody's out there listening that does IT project management. I think you know exactly where I'm coming from. Right?
Yes, I do.
So anyway, you know, I get this project and everybody's on fire above me and they're all freaking out about losing this client. So it's very fear-based, right? So I get the project and it's like, here you go, Carmen, you got to get this shit done, right? And you got to get it done by this deadline and things like that. So I got this project, and every project I was given, because I was one, and I don't mean to pat myself on the back or anything, but I was one of the top project manager, you know, top performers in this project management team. We had an excellent project management team. And so I would get given these high profile projects because they knew I would deliver. And I just had
Give it to a strong woman, right?
Yeah. or somebody who, and I literally, you know, I got this project and I sat at my desk in my cubicle and I was like, this is nuts. I cannot work like this constantly, because it was affecting my family life. It was affecting my health. I knew that it was affecting the resources on my projects, because, you know, the same resources would sometimes be assigned to my projects. So I knew how it was affecting them personally in their lives, when every time I came up to them and said, we've got another massive deadline we've got to hit. Right. And by the, yeah. Right. And I just went to myself, I can't, because I was bringing the fear from that I was receiving, and I was projecting that into managing how I was managing projects, right? Because there was this rush, hurry, stress kind of environment. You know, no weekends, 24/7 kind of projects. And you cannot thrive like that. You have to kind of take a step back and go, okay, I cannot, whatever's going on above me, whatever the headless chickens are doing above me, I cannot lead my projects in this way. I cannot filter that down. So I just basically decided no more. I was like, time out, I'm not doing this anymore. And I'm going to change the way I lead.
Oh, wonderful. Okay. So that was a deciding moment for you, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So what did you do? How did you change things?
Well, it was kind of funny because it was a combination of different things. So at the time, I was getting my life coaching certification back in 2013, because I decided that was when I had my 20-year anniversary. Maria, like, I know you haven't asked me this question yet, but I'll kind of, if that's okay, kind of just tell you what made me go into coaching.
Please. Yeah.
So I got an email, and I don't know how anybody else feels, but you know, when you open up your inbox for work, right? And you just have that, I don't know if anybody else has this, but they have that, maybe that dread or that pit in their stomach, right? Like, oh, what am I going to get today, right, in my inbox? And one of the emails I happened to get was a reminder that I had been with the company at this point 20 years. And it was just this, no fanfare, you know, thank you for your 20 years service, blah, 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 blah. And that email just hit me smack in the face, like, oh my God, I've been with this company for 20 years. Am I going to be able to do this corporate thing for another 20 years until I retire? And my heart just sank. I just was like, no. The answer came loud and clear, like, no, I don't want to do this for another 20 years. I want to do something that fills me with passion and fills me with joy. And then I had, you know, so then I went home that day and I kind of meditated on it. I'm like, okay, what, Carmen, you know, if you were able to plan the next 20 years of your life career-wise, what gives you the most joy and lights you up? What makes you get out of bed in the morning and go, yeah, I want to do this every day?
Yes.
Right. And I pulled out my resume and I was looking at everything that I'd done up until this point in my career. And one of the things that popped off the page, if you like, for me, was when I was coaching and training people I had a role back in the UK where I was coaching and training people, and my heart just went, like just, right. And I was like, oh man, wouldn't it be great if I could just do that as a career? How can I serve others in this capacity where I get to wake up every day and help others with their vision, with how they want to change their lives and things like that? Because that's what coaching does. It transforms lives.
Yeah,
right?
absolutely transforms lives.
It
And I
does.
have to tell you that this is where I met Carmen, by the way. We were doing a certification program together, and we were so in tune. And Carmen was my coaching buddy. And I got to tell you, we just connected because we both had similar backgrounds of that corporate, that grind every day, and you got to get it done. Everybody's hair's on fire. So I really, really could relate with her, and we connected in that way. And it was so awesome. I mean, it was so awesome that you could relate to another strong, powerful woman that was just saying, hey, is this all there is, my friends? Is this all there is? And it takes courage. It takes courage to make that leap of faith. And so, Carmen, I know you started this program leading with your heart. And there are like 5 fundamentals in the program. Share those with us. Share those with us.
Absolutely. So so as I was beginning to figure out what kind of leader I wanted to become, one of the key things was, we forget to lead with our heart, because in corporate, you can't say the word love or heart, or it's just not done, right? And I'm pleased to say that as I've been doing this more and more over the years, I am seeing a shift towards that. I mean, it's not happening everywhere, but I am seeing a slight shift towards that, where we have more conscientious organizations that are trying to implement more of a heart-based culture within their organizations. But when I started out, it didn't exist. And so when I was forming my own style of leadership, I realized that I was leading by 5 different fundamentals. And I have it right here.
Oh my God, I love that. I love that. We're the cue card queens. I love that.
Yes, we are. And so the first one is lead with love, right? And in order for you to be able to lead with love, and I'm just going to give you a very high level synopsis, you have to first love yourself, right? So if you wake up in the every day and you look in the mirror and you don't like who you're looking at, you need to shift that and start to understand how you can love yourself. And one of the things that I ask my clients to do is think about 3 things that they're really grateful for about themselves, not that they have their kids, or they have a good job, or whatever it might be, but like, what is it about myself that I love? Like, what am I grateful for about myself? And then just infuse that and remind yourself of that every day. And it can be different things every day. So first, leading from love starts with you. You need to first love yourself, and then you can go out in the world and be a bundle of love and light to everybody around you, right? The second one is influence positively. And what I mean by that is, you are leaders in all facets of your life, right? So maybe you coach a team of kids playing soccer or something like that, or football, as we call it in the UK. Maybe, you have a large family and you're an influencer in your family. Are you an influencer in your community, right? What are you doing in terms of leading? How are you influencing others, right, around you?
Absolutely.
And that's really about your energy, right? How are you showing up? Okay. And then the third one is be curious. And again, this is super high level, but be curious. And what does that mean? That means ask questions, be curious, be intrigued, like, think about whenever you're trying something new, you're in that mode of curiosity, like, oh, what's this going to be like? And so if you like to travel like I do, Maria, which I know you do, whenever I travel somewhere new, I am super curious about what's the culture like, what's the food going to be like, what am I going to get to see? And we need to be like that with each other, right? So when you're faced with someone who is different than you and has different ideals to you, or maybe different values and different beliefs, staying in that mindset of being curious really helps you to open up that conversation and keep an open mind about what can you learn from this other person that's different to you. One of the things I loved about one of my jobs in my corporate career was the ability to travel all over the world and meet different people from different cultures and different countries. And I always had that mindset of being curious. So grateful for that. Our curiosity, Maria, got us to the moon.
Exactly.
Right?
Our curiosity got us to sit in front of this technology today and be able to record this podcast.
Right.
Someone's curiosity. How can I bring everyone together? How do I
Right.
create more and more community using technology? So you and I both have a big technology background because, as you know, I worked in corporate America with a big technology company, and we learned so much about the value of technology when used properly, and the message that we can now share with millions of people across the globe. Right?
It's amazing.
It's a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful thing.
So, when
if I might for a moment,
yes.
We've got 1, lead with love. Number 2, influence positively. Be curious, ask a lot of questions. What's number 4?
Number 4 is use your words wisely.
Oh, I love that one.
What language are you using to communicate with yourself? And then what language are you using to communicate with others?
Beautiful.
Right?
Really.
At a very high level.
Spot on.
Okay. And then the third one is empower others. Empowering others allows you to empower yourself. If as leaders, if you try to keep all the knowledge to yourself or your wisdom to yourself, you're really doing yourself a disservice. And what I mean by empowering others is play to their strengths. What are the people around you really, really good at? Right. And I love this quote by Einstein, and I know I'm gonna mess it up, but it goes along the lines of, if you try to teach a fish to, if you try to teach a fish to climb a tree, you're going to forever think it's stupid, or something along those lines. And I know I just completely butchered that.
Who cares?
Right.
But what's the message?
But the message is, a fish doesn't know how to climb a tree. A fish's strength is in the water, right? Where it knows how to swim and navigate and things like that. So, in corporate, we're always trying to work on our weaknesses, improve our weaknesses. But I would say, we need to focus on our strengths. So when you have your team together, what are their strengths? What is their genius zone, right? And allowing the greater wisdom, the collective wisdom in the team to kind of be nurtured and grow really allows you as a leader to kind of take a step back and go, they've got this. They've got this. One of the biggest things I did in that area, Maria, real quick, was I was managing a project, and of course the company wanted to go live on the 1st of January when everybody wanted to be, and I'd already booked my vacation months and months ahead in advance, and to be off for Christmas for once with my family, because every year I would get a project, and the project somehow miraculously always needed to go live on the 1st of January. And I was like, no, this coming Christmas, I am not going to work at Christmas, and I'm not going to be working New Year's putting in a new IT implementation, just not doing it. And so anyway, I empowered my team so much that they were able to manage the project without me. Right.
What did you learn from that? What did you learn from that?
I learned a lot about myself. I learned a lot that I was a freaking control freak. And and because I'm that I have to have eyes on everything and things like that. So it's very, very hard for me to kind of take a step back and go, they've got this. I need to trust my team that they're empowered to do this, that I've given them enough power now to step forward. And it's amazing what happens, Maria, right? When you take a step back and just let the magic happen.
Right.
So I was checking in on email, right, over my, but just to see how things were moving along, and if anybody was in dire need of, because I thought I was indispensable. Trust me, I was not. I was indispensable. But they figured things out on their own because they moved into that genius zone, right? And they were empowered to step forward and go and make decisions and things like that when things because projects always have a curveball, especially IT projects, right? But they were empowered enough to figure things out on their own and communicate with each other, because we had created this collectively, this team of transparency, of knowing everybody's strengths were, knowing what their roles and what their roles were in the project, so that they knew who to go to, they knew who their resources were, they knew how to make decisions, they knew what was needed to get done. And, you know, they were set up for success, basically.
Great. And you did that, right?
I feel very uncomfortable saying I did that, but no, it was definitely a team effort, you know. And when you have a leader that sees themselves as part of the team,
yes,
and encourages that collaboration, because I'm all about collaboration and communication and transparency as a leader. That's what, and then when you cultivate that, that's what happens, right? It's like when you grow a plant, if you nurture it and you give it the right nutrients, the right amount of water and sunlight, it's going to thrive. And it's the same thing with human beings, right? If you do the same with human beings, they're going to thrive.
Exactly. They're absolutely going to thrive. And you learned, there were some valuable lessons for you to learn, and there were there were some gifts that you gave to people, correct?
Yes, definitely.
By doing that.
Definitely.
And you said, wait a minute, I'm going to take this further, and I'm going to create this program for leaders on how to lead with your heart. And that is a beautiful thing. So Carmen, if there was one message that you could leave with our listeners today, what would that be?
And, you know, I'm trying to be very profound here.
Don't be profound, be you.
But, you know, but with me, I always remember this. And I always remember somebody saying to me, Carmen, people don't remember what they say, what you say. People always remember how you make them feel.
Exactly. Exactly. And I know from personal experience that you always leave someone feeling warm and good and loved and cared for. And I appreciate that about you, because you are a gift in my life. And if there's a group out there that wants to have more information about Leading with Your Heart program, how would they reach you?
So I have a website that they can reach me on, and it's basically soartlc.com, soartlc.com.
Okay.
And my email is basically Carmen, my name, CarmenMen, sorry, at soartlc.com. Can't even spell my own name this morning.
Okay, I'm going to repeat that. Carmen at soartlc.com.
Thank you.
All right, perfect. So Carmen, it has been an absolute joy to have you on, sharing your program, sharing your experience, sharing, you know, because I can resonate with all the stories that you were telling. We've all been there. We've all spent nights sleeping on the floor at a new facility or something like that. And it's been nuts. So thank you for joining me today. And I want to wish you a happy holiday season.
You too.
So for you, my listeners, thanks for listening in today. And if there's anything, any subject on personal growth, personal development that you want to dive deeper into, maybe you want to hear some other frameworks, reach out to me on my website, coachingwithmaria.com, schedule a one-on-one appointment. Hey, it's free. And we get to talk on a very personal level, and you're going to love it. So who do you know that may need to listen to this message? And I'd love it if you would share this podcast with one or two of your friends that may need a positive inspiration in their lives. Continue to message me on Facebook. I love all the comments. I heard you guys say, Maria, we want you to go live more. So guess what I'm going to be doing this week? Yes, I am. I am going to challenge myself. And until next week, my friends, stay focused, stay positive, always have fun. And no matter what you be, do, or have, do it with passion. Thanks for listening in today.